Alright lads, welcome back to part 2 of this tutorial, and we're going to be coloring at this time. And first of all, what I want you to take a look at is basically this. This is the setup that I've made with, well, basically 16 different colors. Essentially I'm lazy and I didn't want to have 16 different texture maps for one color, or for each individual color for this present. I wanted to be able to like control multiple colors through one texture. So what I did was create this map in Photoshop, and now we're going to create it again right here. So what we need to do is I'm going to go into my Octane settings right this time, and I'm going to create a Glossy Material. I'm going to go into it, going to go into the node editor, and we're going to move around image texture, and I'm going to load this color diffuse, and let's go right in there, and we're going to put it in diffuse, and we're going to change a couple of settings. We're just going to make the roughness like 0.5, and that'll do for now. Basically, yeah. Okay, and this is going to be called present taper, and we are going to apply this onto the present height, and we're going to change the projection mapping from UV to flat, and we're going to bring this up, and we're going to rotate it 90. And essentially what we're going to do here is we're going to change this to 200 on the X, 200 on the Y, 800 on the scale of X, and 800 on the scale of Z, and we're going to apply it. And let's just take a look at how that is. And let's just add this kind of light here. Okay, so that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, so let's go into our present settings. Yeah, let's add some user data for this. We're going to manage this. We're going to add data, and then we're going to bring it down here, and we're going to call this present color. And we're going to change this to an integer, and the max is 15. So basically it's 4 by 4, so there are 16, but integers read 0 as a value, so it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way up to 15, which is going to make 16. So we're going to keep it that way, and default value at 0. That's absolutely fine, and we're going to press OK. So we're going to go to present controls, and you know what, actually what I forgot to do was separate it. I'm going to cancel user data, manage user data, and we're going to go copy, and we're going to paste, and we're going to go present, just to keep everything nice and organized. And you can see here we go up to 15, we go down to 0, and everything in between. Alright, so present controls, present color, and we're just gonna write that up. Okay, so the first thing we do is we go new node, xpresso, calculate, and we're gonna try that again. Calculate range mapper is what we're after. We're going to use user defined, and we're going to use percent. Okay, and we're going to have it as 25%. And we're going to have present color into the range mapper. So yeah, essentially what we do is we drag this present out onto the present height, and we change from UV mapping to flat. And we're going to change a couple of settings here. We're going to go X 200, Z 200, X 800, Z 200. We're going to apply that, and right now that is flat, and we're going to rotate it 90, and I guess we're going to go 800 as well. Okay, so 800 across the board. Actually, I don't think this matters. No, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we go into present, we have our settings, we drag this in, material, and offset U, and offset V are the conditions we're looking for, and we're going to plug this into offset V. Alright, let's take a look to see if this works. It's 0, 1, 2, 3. That's perfect. But if you notice, if we go beyond that, it's just going to start repeating the same. So what we want to do is we want to have a setting so that once we go beyond to 3, which will be the 4th color, we want to go on to a new color. So you'll notice that 4 is exactly the same as 0. So to do that, we introduce a new node, xpresso logic condition. And again, this is going to control our switch. But the fortunate thing about condition nodes is that you can set it to integer, and integers only read whole numbers. So 0.25 is 1, 0.5 is 1, 0.75 is 1, 0.99 is 1, which is absolutely perfect for what we need. We'll add 4 of those. Yep, so for our condition node, we start with 0, and then 1, and then 2, and then 3. But what we introduced beforehand is another range mapper, and we plug our present color into this. And because conditions can only read integers, especially the switch, we can divide by 4. So it will take 4 iterations to turn into another 1. So 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, suddenly 1. And then we can switch it. And let's plug this into our switch. And then the condition node, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are going to plug this into another range mapper, which is identical to this one. Actually, we don't need to do anything. I'm going to move this material, and we're going to plug this in. And we're going to straighten that out, straighten that out. And yeah, let's take a look. Present. Okay, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's try 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And that's perfect. So that is 16 colors that we have right there. That is awesome. Alright, let's make this more paper-like. We're going to turn the roughness up to 1. And we're going to plug this into the specular as though it were real paper. Right, so that's all those colors represented. That's perfect. Okay, what we're going to do next is duplicate this, and we're going to delete that, and we're going to go glossy paper. We go to our node editor, and we're going to change this right here, and change that, and we're just going to adjust our index. Gonna leave that black. Okay, let's change the roughness to 0.4, and this time we end up something more like foil. So we need to represent that in the user data as well. So we're going to go into user data, manage user data, and under present control we're going to add data, and it's going to be a boolean, and we'll set the default value to 0, but we do need to name this, and we're going to be like matte / glossy, and we're going to go OK. So we're going to open this up, and I'm going to drag this down, just give it a bit more space. Okay, and present controls, matte glossy, marvelous. Okay, we're going to add a new node, xpresso general condition again. Okay, and this is going to be the catalyst for change, and then we drag this in, object, and this object. The condition, we're going to switch from real to material, and we're going to plug this in. We go into the settings here. Material. I'm going to move you up. And we're going to switch this out. Alright, let's take a look at how this is. Okay. Go to present, change from matte to glossy. And you can see the difference right there because that is being plugged into whether or not the material is matte or glossy. And we change the color. And just like that, that's 32 different iterations of present with 2 texture materials. There's no need to add 32 different textures. You have 32 right here just with 2 different materials. Alright, and the next step is the ribbon. So for what I did for the ribbon was this. This is ribbon color right here, and I saved this out as again a diffuse map. So let's come in here and let's open up our node editor and let's bring in our ribbon color swatch diffuse. Okay, and this is our ribbon. So let's take a look at this. So this is the ribbon bow. This is the actual ribbon, and let's drag this on top. Okay, and let's call this flat. And you can see here the way it's being projected. Okay, and let's orientate this 90 degrees. And let's go with 400 by 400 and 200, 200. Apply. And that's going to help us out. So then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did for the present. What we're going to do is create another user data. So we're going to manage the user data, and we've got present color, and we're going to add data, and we're going to go with ribbon color, and we're going to set this to be an integer, and we're going to set the max to 3, and we're going to click OK. And then we're going to take a look at our controls. I'm going to stretch that out. Okay, at this point we drag in the ribbon, and we're going to go with material, offset U, offset V. Okay, we're going to grab our range mapper, but instead of 25%, let's go with 50. And that's going to happily affect that. And we're going to delete port for that because it's always going to be glossy. That's generally how ribbons act. So we're going to duplicate this condition, but we are going to delete ports. And we're just going to leave 0 and 1. And we're going to grab another range mapper. And we're going to drag in the ribbon color. And this is going to be another user defined, but 0.5 into here. And this is going to be into here. At which point we take another range mapper, drop it into here, and into here. And that's perfect. Okay, let's check the presence again. Perfect. Okay, now we do the exact same thing for the bow. Take the present, take the bow, we take the properties, U and V, and we drag that into here. Alright, and just like that we have multiple iterations of presents. Okay, and we do a spot of troubleshooting, we immediately see this problem. Okay, as in the ribbon thickness here does not correspond to what's going on here. So that is a very easy fix because we adjusted it that way earlier. If we go with ribbon thickness, we know that we can lock this and drag all of these in there. And now we'll reach the same thickness, or the same width rather. Okay, and that's how you build an entirely procedural present. And if you just animate the parameters again, you end up like something like this.